morning, so this should be fun. Today, I'm going to Honolulu so I can knock out the Hawaii state capital. And instead of my previous videos where I just get to the capital, show up, and do the tour, I'm going to bring you along with me. So this is going to be my first travel with me video. And maybe you'll get to know a little bit more about my personality in the process. So first thing I do every morning is, and I probably got stuff all in my eye. I don't even know yet. We'll see. First thing I do every morning is, as soon as I get up, I step on a scale, and I know this is my travel channel, but I also have a fitness channel and a fitness program. But I step on a scale to see how my body responded to my weight from foods and things that I drank the previous day. And after that, I come down and I set up my coffee, and I drink my coffee until about 11 o'clock in the morning. And I usually don't have breakfast. It's not because I'm dieting, it is because I have now made this a part of my lifestyle and gotten used to it at this point. Okay, I just came down from my weigh-in, so 162-ish. It's decent for me, and now I'm about to be gone for like 4 days and out of a controlled environment, so I'll be interested to see what my weigh-in is going to be when I come back on Tuesday morning. Anyway, I'm going to grab my coffee now, get my final bags, get in the car, and make my way to the Atlanta airport. Okay, so I just made it to the Atlanta Airport parking lot, and the drive here wasn't too bad at all from the north. So the drive that you'll see when I set up the POV, if you choose to watch it, is a typical drive in the morning to get to the Atlanta airport. So I was lucky to not run into any traffic, and now I'm going to go to the airport.
Please stand clear of the doors. We are approaching Airport Station. Please hold on, this train is stopping. Thank you for choosing Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Please have all your belongings and watch your step as you exit. We are approaching Airport Station.
Free, the Rental Car Center and GICC Gateway Center.
All right, so I made it to the airport, and the Atlanta airport is hit or miss. If you do not have a TSA pre-check, then you need to get here at least 3 hours early if you're trying to go to anywhere domestically. So luckily, and I'll show you the line right here. So that's actually the start of the line for people that's not TSA pre-check. And it's crazy that the line starts here. I'm gonna follow it just so you'll see. I don't know if I even want to follow this entire thing because I have TSA pre-check and I need to go on the other side. But this is, what is it, a Friday morning? And I'm just going to, again, show you how crazy it is in Atlanta airport if you don't come here 3 hours earlier. So anyway, it's that crazy. So I'm gonna make my way over to TSA pre-check. Luckily, I don't have any bags that I need to check, and I'll see how quickly it's gonna take me to get through. So the other thing I'll point out is Delta's priority check-in, or Sky priority check-in, or first class check-in, they have their own location in the airport, and that's where I'm walking to right now. And by the way, that's the line that everyone that I just showed you is waiting to get in. So now we made it to Sky Priority. So if you had to check in a bag, this is normally where you would go if you were Sky Priority. They have their own line here, and TSA Precheck looks like it's off the chain here too, but it's not as bad as regular check-in. You gotta put it in perspective, brother. Did you see what they got over there? If they're not TSA Precheck, so like, this is okay compared to what they have.
Clear.
So another hack, but it's usually hit or miss, is if you have clear PSA, what am I trying to say? Clear Precheck. If you have a clear Precheck, then usually it's faster than TSA Precheck in the Atlanta airport, but it's not always. It's hit or miss. Sometimes TSA Precheck beats clear Precheck because they put more agents on TSA Precheck. But luckily, Delta also has digital ID, and if they have the digital ID line open, then that is almost always faster, because as opposed to clear Precheck where you have to scan your eyes or other biometric, digital ID from Delta already have your biometrics on file, and so they just pretty much walk you through the line. So I'll see if it's going to be open, and if it is, then this process shouldn't take as long as it looks like it will take. So it's 8:29 a.m. and I just got in the line maybe a couple of minutes ago. I'll say I got in the line at 8:25 a.m. on a Friday morning, and I'm going to see how long it's going to take me to get through TSA Precheck via digital ID. So digital ID is open, so we're going to make it happen. I don't think they seen that main line, man. They look like they don't appreciate this line. I appreciate it. So yeah, digital clear Precheck has 3 lines that's interweaved, or one long line that's snaked into 3 lines. And then TSA Precheck, even though it seems like it takes a long time, I'm pretty sure TSA Precheck is going to be beating at least clear ID. And then like I said, digital ID, they have 1 agent, so we have appears to be 1 line. So as opposed to being snaked, we should be able to get through. If you see, TSA Precheck is moving pretty fast, even though they have the longest line in the number in the largest amount of people. But clear is not moving at all. or they're just moving much slower. And this digital ID line is moving, but again, not as fast as TSA Precheck is moving. So again, as you'll see, TSA Precheck, even though it seemed like it's crowded, it does move pretty fast in the ATL airport. So if you don't have TSA Precheck, make sure you get it. Digital ID is still not moving fast, but it's not that bad, and it's much better than clear still at this point. And again, the difference is when you have digital ID, you just go up to the agent and show your Delta boarding pass, and like you don't even have to give them your ID. You just show your boarding pass, and then you go right in to scan your items, and you go through the same process that TSA Precheck does. Like, you don't have to take your shoes off, and you don't have to take your laptops out of your bag. Yep, so they have 7 agents. 8, looks like they have 8 or 9 agents for TSA Precheck and 1 agent for Delta Digital ID, and it appears to be 2 agents over there for clear. So that's why TSA Precheck often moves faster. This is the clear section over here. And this is digital ID, and that's TSA Precheck. So yeah, I guess I was wrong about that. You don't even have to use your phone or have your ID for Delta digital ID. You just scan your face, they recognize your biometrics, and then you pass the TSA agent. Okay, so it is 8:51, and I made it through TSA Precheck or Delta Digital ID and ATL Atlanta. So 20 minutes is pretty impressive considering that it is a Friday, and I showed you that line earlier that people who do not have TSA Precheck or digital ID have to go through. So my next stop now is to go to the Delta Lounge. My flight doesn't take off until 10:29, so I don't have to be at the gate until 9:25 or something like that. So I'm gonna hang out at the Delta Lounge for an hour, and I'll show you the Delta Lounge. All right, so correction. I start boarding at 9:45, and I'm going to Gate E, and there are like 7 letters, A through E, A through F, A through I, something like that, in this airport. So I'm going to get on their SkyTrain, and I guess since I'm boarding out of Gate E, I'll go to the Delta Lounge at Gate E. Normally I go through to the Delta Lounge at Gate B, but let's take a trip to Gate E.
That's walk out to the gate, walk down this side. All the way down, walk down to the gate.
If you're returning home to ATL, welcome back. Thank you for traveling to Honolulu and enjoy your time.
Slide
Yep.
into.
Yeah, it's insanity. Yeah. If you're not used to going to the airport, this is not a day to travel. That will give you high anxiety. Yeah.
Please hold on. This train is stopping. Please hold up your
Anybody getting out behind me?
step as you exit.
Anybody getting out? And, I mean, I think Fridays are
Busy
bad.
season is technically
The
over,
next
but
stop is for B
yes,
gates.
sir.
B as in Bravo.
Yeah.
Fridays are specifically.
Good.
I think Fridays are people are going on vacation. Yeah, like,
The next stop is for C gates. C as in Charlie. For F gates, F as in Foxtrot. Please exit at F gates for international baggage claim and ground transportation.
All right, so that SkyTrain was a mess, and I just want to point out someone asked me a question. It's so interesting how it always starts off. They're like, "Hey, do you have a project that you're working on?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And then she goes and starts telling me about how like I can't record people's faces and I should have them sign waivers and things like that. Maybe, maybe not. But anyway, that's why when I do my videos, I try to avoid having people's faces in the video, because you never know what someone is thinking. I even try to record discreetly because even someone like me is uncomfortable if I see someone with a camera recording. So I'm always wary of that, and I am conscious of that. But you can't document the airport and going through the airport if without getting people's faces. So it is what it is. And anytime if someone contact me, I'll go ahead and just blur their face out or cut the clip so they won't have to be so they won't have to be in the footage. But now I made it to the Delta Lounge, and it's going to be a bit of a wait. Okay, so I'm in the lounge, and that wasn't that bad at all since I am flying Delta One. Since I'm flying Delta One, Delta has priority entry or a priority line for people that's flying Delta One. So there's a perk for flying Delta One.
I'll keep it for you.
You got the last bit. That works. That brings you some more.
I know.
I'm not gonna hang around here.
Thank you.
Hello. 8J?
8J, yes sir, come to the galley and hang a left.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Well, we'll be up.
Okay, so I made it to my seat and I'm going to take off momentarily. I've settled in and, and just an observation, like this is the first time that I'm actually doing this type of video, and man, is it a lot of work to try to like think what you're going to say next and instead of scripting it out. So I'm going to see how I feel about this type of video once I'm done with this weekend, but so far it's pretty overwhelming.
I get it. I get it.
They were on the gas.
Yeah, I never saw that. All I saw them
Exactly. Hopefully we don't have to. Sometimes it doesn't come through.
Hey, Carlene, would you prefer
Are
these
you
go
alright,
back?
sir?
I am. I'm just recording.
May I have your attention if your name is called, please ring your call button. Party of 3 Gleason.
Thank you. Bye-bye. It's not that hot.
Arriving active Army personnel, please report to baggage claim 19. All military ID card holders, spouses, and children are invited to our USO lounge on the ground level between baggage claim areas 19 and 20.
Yay! All right, I made it, and now I am on my way. Not necessarily to baggage claim, but to get the heck out this airport. That was a 9-hour flight, and I gotta figure this out. Let me stop before I can't talk and try to figure out where I'm going at the same time. Okay, I got my bearings. All right, so again, that was a pretty smooth flight, 9 hours. I had an opportunity to sleep in a lay flat bed. Took maybe about a 30-minute nap. One thing to point out about the lay flat beds, you know, I've sat in them a couple of times and never slept in them, but now I see why. This time, because I'm a side sleeper, it's not very comfortable for me. It's actually pretty firm. And I prefer all my mattresses to be soft, so it actually hurts my shoulders. So that's the first thing. The meals were decent. Obviously, you've seen the meals that were provided. I didn't necessarily prefer my rice cold, but I talked to the flight attendant, and she said apparently that's a thing here in Hawaii, the seared tuna with cold rice. What else? I had an interesting conversation with a gentleman on the plane, and a question had came up. He asked me, am I here for vacation or business? And the reason why the question is interesting is because I haven't figured that out yet. So this is not vacation, because I have a mission, and I came all the way to Hawaii so that I can go to the capital. That's the mission. So I guess I could call it business, but the business doesn't make any money. In fact, it loses money. So I don't know. I'm kind of in between. It's I need to make a new term: vacation plus business. Vacaness. I don't know. Anyway, the agenda for the rest of this evening is now about 3 o'clock local time. So I'm going to grab my rental car, and then I'm going to go to the hotel. And once I go to the hotel, once I make it to the hotel, then this trip or this travel with me will be officially over. Once I get into the hotel and I check in, then I'm going to hurry up and make it to Diamond Head Crater, and I'm going to go for a hike. That hike should probably take an hour, hour and a half. And it should be about 7 o'clock after the hike. And after the hike, depending on how I feel, I'm going to look for the local Planet Fitness, and I'm going to get a good workout in. And afterwards, depending on how I feel after that, I may go out on the night street and take some video footage and end my day. And tomorrow, I will probably put all of these clips together so that you can enjoy them, and that's all I have on the agenda for tomorrow. So let's make it to the rental car center. Okay, I'm trying to get over there, so I guess I'm gonna have to go down before I can come back up. So let's see if I can make it to the Hertz rental car center. Huh? I do not see a way to get over there. Where are these people going? Go down and go back up? Let's find out. Excuse me, sir. Where do I get to the rental car center? Where do I get to the rental car center over there? Okay, downstairs? Thank you. This fine? Thank you. Okay, I guess that makes sense. And I had to come to baggage claim first, and if I would have come to baggage claim, then I would have easily saw how to get to the rental car center. But I didn't have to go to baggage claim. I packed light. This is only a 3-day trip. So now I'm gonna make my way to the rental car center.
I saw my name, I don't see the keys.
Oh, that's never fun.
And it doesn't say no keys, so.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Alright, so I'm on my way. I got that squared away. The problem was I requested a car at 6:45 p.m. and I just came in at 2:30 p.m. So I hosed that up. But they took care of me. I don't have my electric vehicle anymore. I have a Nissan Murano. But it's gonna work. I'm happy. Let's get to the hotel. All right, all set. 25 minutes and I should be there. All right, so I finally made it to the hotel. Traffic was crazy coming on the interstate, and parking, trying to find a place to park here was very perplexing. But I think I figured it out. I'm about to check in, and by the way, I checked on the temperature, and the temperature is actually 83 degrees here in Waikiki. So let's check in.
It doesn't work. Okay, try it again. Oh no.
Oh, we're good. Thanks, brother. How you doing?
What floor?
All right, so I finally made it and made it to the hotel. I'm gonna freshen up and figure out what's next, figure out parking. In order to park, I either have to pay $29 a night here at the hotel, or I can find some coins and park on the street, which of course is what I'm going to do. Unfortunately, they can't use my credit card that's on file to give me coins, which I find kind of odd, but that's okay. I'm going to go to the ATM, get some cash, get some coins, freshen up, and then make my way to Diamond Head Crater for a nice 2-hour hike. So that's that. It's a wrap, and I hope you enjoyed traveling from Atlanta, Georgia to Honolulu, Hawaii with me, and I look forward to actually putting out a few more videos while I'm here for the weekend. Peace. Oh yeah, always remember, be safe and go travel. You have everywhere to go see. Oh yeah, the last thing I wanted to say and report on is once I got on the airplane and connected to the internet, I did a bit of a search to determine whether or not it is legal or illegal to record people out in public. So my research showed that there is a reasonable expectation of privacy if you are in your own home, but unfortunately you don't have that same expectation when you're in public. So if someone is not the subject of the frame, then technically you can record them. Obviously I'm not a lawyer, but that's what a couple of lawyers, multiple lawyers have said in my research. So I can record and get people's face in public, and if I think it's a little bit too evasive, then I'll go ahead and blur out their faces. But other than that, I'm not going to worry about it. So there we go. We solved that mystery.